A frightened 13-year-old girl witnesses a brutal murder, but never tells a soul. A decade later, she hunts down the man she believes killed her mother and takes justice into her own hands. Now, with a successful podcast built on other people's confessions, she finally puts the past behind her. Until one caller claims he was the killer that day, and he knows things that no one else could know. Hello, I'm DK Wall, author of novels and short stories, and reader of over 100 books a year. I share the stories I've enjoyed so you can decide if they belong on your reading list. If Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson sounds intriguing, stick around as we step into a twisty psychological thriller about guilt, justice, and the secrets we think are buried for good. To understand Poe Webb, Carter Wilson takes us to three critical moments in her life. The first comes when she's just 13, the day her childhood ends. While snooping around the house, Poe stumbles on a devastating secret. Her mother is having an affair. She is planning to bring her lover home while Poe's father is at work. Hoping to stop her family from falling apart, Poe sneaks back from a friend's house to catch her mother in the act. What she sees instead is a nightmare. The supposed lover is no ordinary man. He's a serial killer who lures women in and then stabs them to death. Frozen in terror, Poe watches all 14 thrusts of the knife. Then he sees her. The killer approaches the terrified girl, says something shocking, and issues a chilling warning. If she ever tells anyone, he'll come back for her and for her father. Then calmly, he ushers her out of the house and sets it on fire, destroying all the evidence. Traumatized, Poe doesn't speak for 3 months. And when her voice finally returns, she tells no one what she witnessed. Not her father, not the police. She keeps the truth buried deep. No one even knows she was in the room. Still haunted by what happened 7 years later, Poe sets a trap. She uses her mother's photo to create a fake dating profile, assuming it would shock the killer. Of all the responses, one stands out. There's something about his words, his tone, that convinces her that she's found him. They meet once in public. He doesn't recognize her. Why would he? She's no longer a little girl. But she knows it's him. She arranges a second date, somewhere private, isolated, where there'll be no witnesses. There, she takes her revenge, kills him, disposes of the body, and tries to move on with her life. But murder, however justified, doesn't come without consequences. Darkness lingers inside her. Years later, 30-year-old Poe channels that darkness into a new life as the host of a wildly popular podcast, Tell Me What You Did. The premise is simple. Anonymous guests get 15 uninterrupted minutes to confess a secret. If Poe believes them, she digs deeper, asking the why. The show's raw honesty and emotional punch keeps audiences hooked. And then Poe gets a call that upends everything. The caller claims to be a murderer. His victim, Poe's mother. He knows intimate details, things only someone in that room that day could possibly know. He even quotes what the killer said to young Poe. But that's impossible. She's already killed him. Unless she didn't. Unless she murdered the wrong man. But the caller isn't finished. He wants something, a confession from Poe on her own podcast, one that would send her to prison. And maybe that's not the worst of it. Because if the caller really is the killer, Poe's not just facing exposure, she's facing death. And everyone she loves could be next. If Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson sounds like a book you'd love, check the show notes for links to recommended retailers. Full disclosure, some of these are affiliate links, which means I may earn a small commission if you purchase through them without affecting your price. In the show notes, you'll also find links to my own novels. Want to read the first few chapters of any of them for free? visit my website at dkwall.com. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future book recommendations. If you know someone who would enjoy Tell Me What You Did, share this episode with them. Now, I want to hear from you. What's on your bookshelf? Drop a comment, send a message, and let's talk books. Until next time, happy reading.